Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I was having a little bit of issue with my mic, so if you're only hearing from one ear, because right now I'm still trying to figure that out, but I don't know exactly what's going on. So by tomorrow, inshallah, I'm hoping that it's fixed. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the obesity problem when it comes to America. Well, I'm not really going to dive much into it, but what I do want to say is when it comes to obese, why do we encourage it? Now, I know this is a problem in America. Americans are getting bigger and bigger. I mean, if you go back to the 90s and you see people at the beach and you compare that to now, for crying out sake, it is ridiculous. It comes down to what? The food that we eat. The food that we eat is obviously designed to make us bigger and bigger. And obviously, when you get bigger and bigger, you start having health problems. And when health problems seeps in, guess what? The Pfizer. They'll be waiting for you to go ahead and buy some of their pills. Okay, you go to the hospital and then they give you more pills that has more symptoms than actually cure. All of this is just systematic, but that's a whole different story. So what I wanted to talk about today is Lyft. Lyft is having a big problem. Literally, it's having a huge problem, both being sued and also because they're being sued by a big person. I'm gonna show you this video. I'm gonna go ahead and give my commentary on this video, and you tell me who's in the right, if it's the man or if it's the women in the right. In my personal opinion, the man's in the right, and I'll tell you exactly why. So I want you to listen to this. Listen to what this lady had to say, okay, about her struggle of, how hard life is. If only she had a choice in becoming fat, we wouldn't have had to deal with this.
Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
I'm sorry to pause it so soon, but here's my question. So the hallway was extremely long, right? And the camera was a little far away from them. And if you can tell by the sound, if I go back, right, and I play it.
Blanding tells us she was just trying.
Yeah, if you can tell by the sound, clearly them walking is not being played. My question is this: is she breathing hard? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just saying, bro.
To get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
Now, you see, the man was honest, okay? The man knows his car better than you and I do. If somebody try to go into my car and I know that this is not going to be something that's going to work, I'm going to say, hey, it's not going to work. It just won't work. Now, here's my analogy that I'm going to give, okay? If she is allowed to sue Lyft because the man chose not to give her a ride, based off of this alone, smokers. If you're somebody who smoke, okay, and you decide to lit one inside of a car, and then the guy pulls over and says, hell no, get out of my car, and then cancels your ride and drives off. According to this whole scenario, you are allowed to sue them. Why? Because they took away your right of smoking. Now, why did I bring this example up? Simple. Because she had a choice when she was young to make a change before she reaches this age. The person who smoked had a choice when they were young, whether or not if they wanted to smoke or not. But obviously, they both made a bad decision. One decided to smoke, the other one decided to get fat. They both got kicked out of a car. You see what I'm saying? You see the correlation that I'm making here? The fact that they had a choice at a young age to make a change and chose not to make a change, and now they are now victim blaming everybody. Okay, they're being victims of their own bad decisions, and now you and I, normal people, have to pay for it. Now, I'm not saying that taxpayers are going to pay for the lawsuit that she is filing for this whole situation. But what I'm saying is there's hundreds and thousands of other examples that I can use that people's bad decision is causing taxpayers more money. And instead of trying to fix the problem, what do? We encourage it even more.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like a my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
Every victim.
Now, the guy probably doesn't know much about cars, but perhaps he was talking about his shock absorber. Maybe that's what he was talking about. If you see the link between the cars, imagine adding extra 500 pounds to that. Yes, the tire is going to be rubbing the frame of the car as it's driving. So that's what he was talking about. The man was in the right to say, no, you cannot get into this car because my car is already low enough. The shocks is bad. And if you get on it, the tire is going to be rubbing on the frame of the vehicle and most likely going to pop. And I have to pay that out of my own pocket because I guarantee you Lyft wasn't going to pay a dime for that.
Person you turned down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL instead.
No, I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
This ain't about her feelings. This is about her promoting her music career. You don't believe me? Wait a few months from now. This whole Lyft situation is going to be pushed under the rug. And most likely, now I may be wrong. But I will make a prediction now. Most likely, a month or two from now, she's going to be everywhere as another fat rapper, just like the other dude that had a beef with Snoop Dogg. I don't know his name. The guy with the cup in his hand all the time. Yeah, I don't even know how that dude was able to land himself a girlfriend, but bruh.
Looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The law.
First of all, black person, Christian, Muslim, Catholic, you name it. You name it. If this person is a genuine person, wants to do no harm, and just wants to go from point A to point B, guess what? Why not? He's not going to have a problem. It's not going to affect the shock absorber on the car. It's not going to affect the fact that the car has to now use up more gas just to be able to move. And here's another thing when it comes to race. We have no choice whether you want to be black or white. You have no choice in that. So in my personal opinion, fat person being in that category, they shouldn't be. They should not be.
Suit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
We didn't get to see the full video. We didn't get to see the full inside of the car, but perhaps there were already more people in the car. I don't know the situation, but what I will say is the guy said, believe me, you won't be able to fit in this. And she said it herself. She said that the man said the tires, which is the only thing that I need to show that the man was in the right. Why? Because he was alluding to his shock absorber. He was saying, look, my shock absorbers are not that good. You getting into this car is going to lower my car to where the tire is going to be rubbing the frame and it will damage the chassis of the car. And then I have to pay money out of my pocket to fix that, and I will not have a job. Because why? My car is out of commission because you decided to stay inside of here and destroy my freaking chassis of the car. In case you don't know what chassis is, it's pretty much the suspension and all the stuff at the bottom. The bottom of the car could have been rusty as shit. And if she sat on there, heck, the one bolt that was holding everything together probably could have broken. And then the next thing you know, the man drive shaft is just flopping all over the place because too much torque is being, you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to get into car topic. In case you see my hat, Snap-on, just shows you that I work on cars, but yeah, later.